Capricorn, it's Jen here. I'm doing your May reading. Um, I for like your last three readings, only for your sign Capricorn, I have somehow deleted your readings before I've actually gotten them uploaded to YouTube. It's only been your sign. It's so weird. But I write down my channeling at least, but I have like nothing written down for May. And for most signs, I also wrote down the cards I pulled. And I have nothing, I didn't write like anything down for you. It's so bizarre. I don't know. Anyway, I don't know what the point of that is because I love my Capricorns. I'm on the Sag Capricorn cusp. Anyway, so I am redoing your May reading here. We have a couple I'm going to focus mostly on the moons in May. So we have a new moon on the 11th in Taurus. So Taurus is a fellow earth sign from you guys. So this should be a comfortable new moon for you. So Taurus is ruled by Venus. It's a fixed earth sign, so it's a little more, they'll dig your heels in more than you guys. You guys are cardinal signs, so even though earth in general is fixed, you guys like to do things. You're more adventurous. You like to move forward with things. And Taurus, they can be pretty settled in their routine, and they can be pretty stubborn about certain things. Taurus is also being ruled by Venus. They're very fun. They're very loving. They like music and art, and they like beauty. So you may be, with this new moon, thinking about, I don't know, maybe you're thinking about like a makeover, and this like yourself, your place, your landscaping, maybe updating your website, or like yeah, it's, I don't want to say a rebranding because that makes it sound like you're trying to change an image. It's more of just a freshen up, a modernization. You may look at something and like just think, oh, that, we've had that same picture up there for 25 years. Like maybe maybe I want to just mix it up a little bit, freshen things up. Whoa, sorry, I just threw my pencil at you. I'm talking with my hands. I don't know if you know someone that talks with their hands. That could be a message, especially if it's someone who's passed. On May 26th, we have a pink full moon lunar eclipse in the sign of Sag. So when we're looking at eclipses, they go back 6 months and they go forward 6 months. So they're more significant and have a much bigger reach than a regular full moon. And our new moons are to plant the seeds, right? To start something new. The new moons are to let things go and to sort of I guess deal with things, so that when that new moon comes around, whatever, 14 days later, we have room for these new things to come in. So we'd had a Scorpio full moon on the end of April. And for me, Scorpio is fixed water. So it's emotions. They may seem still on the surface, Scorpio, but they got a lot going on under the surface. They get a bit of a bad rap. I have a couple Scorpio friends. I have a lot of Scorpio in my chart, actually. They can be wonderful. They are wonderful, wonderful people. Just the negative side, and of course you don't see this in everyone, or you only see it in stressful situations with certain people. They can hold on to a lot of feelings, I guess. Still waters run deep. There can be a lot of things, and they can be somewhat just a little, yeah, they can hang on to things. They may be smiling to your face, but they may be like, I fucking hate you. And I'm not saying that that's happening to you or you're doing that per se, but it's looking at those things that we maybe think we've let go of that are still actually taking up residence in our body, and maybe, um, metaphysical community would say lowering your vibration, keeping that negative cord alive, keeping that thing alive. So you may have emotions that you were unaware of that you're still hanging on that come to the surface. So letting that go at the end of, you might have a cry, you might have someone might blurt something out, or you might blurt something out, and then you're like, whoa, actually think about what you said, and it's kind of like, whoa, do I really think that? Did I really mean that? And you're able to then process it once it's come to the surface, and let it go. And then the new moon in Taurus, another fixed sign, right, comes in and is able to sort of settle in with that, with having released that, and settle in with a new mindset. The full moon in Sag, that lunar eclipse, Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter, and they're known. So Sag is known to be lucky, positive, optimistic. They love to talk about things. They don't want to debate things. They find everything interesting. So they like philosophy, and they like everything, and they just want to, they'd be like, oh, that's interesting. Did you know this? Really? What do you think about this? They don't have an agenda. They're not trying to prove their point. They're just want to share information and then think about it. They like to travel. They like to explore. Jupiter is expansive. It's big. It likes to grow things that are usually positive. Of course, there's a negative side to every sign, and Sag could be overindulgence. Their major arcana card is temperance, to temper things down. But I think Capricorn has temperance down. You guys are, I always say, the adults of the zodiac. Sometimes you guys may actually need a little bit of push to let loose a little bit, to loosen up, and to play a little bit more. So Jupiter, the way I look at it is, if you see if I can explain this. So start with you and just start putting a bubble around you, blowing a bubble, and it just gets bigger and bigger. And imagine this bubble is kind of magical in the sense that anything that you love and truly want in your life stays in the bubble. But as it expands, as Jupiter expands, it pushes things that aren't really serving you, that you don't really want or need in your life, or need so closely to you in your life. And it keeps that out, and those get pushed further and further away. So as Jupiter expands the good, it pushes away the bad. So it could mean that you need some distance from some people or situations, and Jupiter will give you the but it's less focused on getting those negative things away from you, and more focused on, I'm bringing in all this other stuff and I'm not making space for that. Okay. And then in June, that's really good, we're having the full moon in Capricorn. Did I write it down? What paper is that written on? I haven't done I thought I started the June readings. Anyway, you have your full moon, here it is, in Capricorn on June 24th. So that'll be a really good time for you guys. After Scorpio, letting go of things that may, resentments and negative things, or things that you've needed to say that you just haven't said emotionally, that would be it too. It doesn't have to necessarily be negative. It could be positive. It could be telling someone you love them. After that, then we have the Sag Moon, like what positive new things do you want to bring in? And then Capricorn says, great, we have all these new expansive ideas, and we're going to now kick back in with our Capricorn energy and maybe take some of those more playful, fun, adventurous brainstorming things. Whoops. And you're getting, that's too many. It's too many. Well, all right, we'll just take them. And get to work with them, because maybe you're going to have like a really interesting creative download and new idea for a business, or could be anything, and get to work on it because you feel so inspired. So I think it's going to be a really positive time. Oh, one other thing for you guys. I was looking back at the readings from November, because this eclipse could point back to November. And I only have mid-November, the notebook I found, Capricorn. But oh my God, okay, I do remember your reading, because what I have in the channeling, and I'm reading this right off my book. And the first thing I wrote for you for November, that you want to get the fuck out of Dodge, which I think is hysterical. And then I have a misspelling. I have trouble with language. Then I saw goggles, like old-fashioned pilot goggles, like in one of those open cockpit small planes with a scarf, kind of Snoopy. I got my animated dogs mixed up. You know, when he's pretending to fly. This ironwork, an iron gate. Someone chilling with a baseball cap on outside. I just got a lot of random things for you guys. Then I saw an aquarium. That you could get a subscription to an aquarium. Maybe it's a place to go and sort of meditate and exploring local and country attractions. And then I got ghosts, mediumship, past life regressions, just as something you, I don't know, may catch your attention. That may be something you look into, or past life regressions. I haven't had one. I've done a past life reading for someone before, and it actually went really, really well. It was a friend, and it's like, it isn't something I do, but let's give it a shot. And it like freaked both of us out, what we got, and it wasn't a friend. It was a friend of my niece's, so I don't really know her, and it was pretty cool. But past life regressions, whether you truly believe in that stuff or not, it really is just another way, a different perspective of looking at things. And it can, speaking of that Scorpio, what's down deep in us, it can be healing. So whether it's the placebo effect or not, I don't know. You might find them fascinating. I don't do them, so you'd have to find someone that does them, but you may find yourself down a rabbit hole, I guess. Oh, I have one more card. Okay, sorry, this is going to be a long-ass reading. This is my first morning going back to work after vacation, so I got up early. I'm going to do some readings, and I got to go to my real job. Breathe. There's some sort of maybe anxiety for you too around work. I feel as though there will be a breakthrough for you where you'll be able, you keep getting two more cards. I don't have enough room to display all these cards. Where you may really be able to just, I see you just kind of accepting something this month. And just being able to be like, okay, it's okay. And a level of acceptance. And also a level of and this is very Sag, what's the opportunity here where everyone maybe feels like there's a loss? Maybe there's an opportunity. The Magician. and the Four of Swords. Even though this Four of Swords, the arrows are not in this person. Definitely make sure you take vacations and take time off. The Magician tells us that we are born with everything we need to live a happy life. It's just learning to use those elements, mixing and matching. So we're given the sword, which is thoughts, our mind. We're given the cups, which are our emotions. The wands, that's fire. That's our energy, our motivation, our inspiration, our get up and go. And then the pentacles is the earth, which you govern, are our tangible things, right? The things we interact with and touch and look at, our money, our job, on a day-to-day basis. And how do we mix and match those? And when that comes up with the Four of Swords, it's saying it's about recuperation, healing, rest, meditation. But the arrows are the swords. It's arrows in this deck. Or swords are about the mind. It's quieting the mind, learning to having mental discipline to quiet the mind. And just a reminder that this takes, we don't do one push-up, right? And think, oh, I'm in shape. That was great. I'm just going to go about my life now. I've mastered that, getting in shape. It's something you have to work on that. Think of it as a muscle. You have to work on that continually to be able to not allow your thoughts to, we have those negative thoughts that just take up residence in our brain and stuff, and it's not productive. So one of the keys to happiness, and happiness also, it's not like, oh, I'm happy, check. I get to check that off my list. I've done that. Great. Now I'll be happy forever. It's something, and people talk about balance, being balanced. Well, it's what we aspire to, but it's not, again, it's not like we reach the top of the mountain and we can check it off and we're done. It's, if it were only that easy, right? So what are all these cards here? More Wands cards. All Wands cards. This is so that Sagittarian energy. We have the Page of Wands, which is could be a message about work, a message about an idea, and something you're inspired, you're enthusiastic about, you're motivated about. It's there's a level of excitement with this. Then we have the Two of Wands. The Two of Wands is really coming to grips with the fact that we only have so much energy, and we have to be mindful of where our energy is going. Is it going to something productive or not? And when I was talking about that bubble and how it's going to allow the positive things to stay in, but it's going to push those things, those negative things, or those things that are not serving you further away. It's going to distance yourself. Those are the things where we're probably putting energy in, and just, it's like opening all the windows and running the AC or the heat. It's just not serving us. So we really have to examine. This could be a bit of a challenge for you guys because you are so responsible, and you're always like, someone's got to pay the bills. Someone's got to, take the garbage out. It's not going to happen. And so I think you're almost, there's a compulsiveness to do these things and also stay on top of them, because you also know if you don't stay on top of them, they can get away from you. But for some reason, in some area, you do need to sort of let go and let things pile up, probably in regards to someone else. And the Nine of Wands. Yeah, this this, when you get to the 9, this is a little bit of a timing aspect to this card. Like, how much longer do I wait? I'm exhausted. Um, what he's looking out, like what's coming. Now, often it's read as you're about to see the light at the end of the tunnel. Persevere, keep going. You can do it. I imagine people who run marathons. It's not me. When you hit, 20 miles, you're probably like, fuck this. I'm like, it's just like, no, keep going. You've come this far. Keep going. So in some area, it may be keep going. You've come this far. But paired with that 2 of Wands, you have to think about, is this a place to be putting so much energy into? We have the 3 of Swords and the 2 of Pentacles. Yeah, so the 3 of Swords, I just feel that this is back to the Scorpio moon at the end of April. But the 3 of Swords, someone may hurt your feelings, but it would be more like, it's read as a card of people cheating, but it's a sword card. It's about thoughts. So it's more about the truth hurts, I've heard someone say. And I think of it as jealousy, because cups is emotions. So it's not supposed to be about your emotions. We're in the swords. We're in the thought realm here. But I think about it how somehow, have you ever been jealous with like a romantic partner, and they make you so jealous, but then when you've truly moved on, you could care less about them? Like, so it's something about perspective and a mindset. The 2 of Pentacles here, if you can see, there are these 2 guys. My mouse is in the way. On a bridge. To me, it's meeting on neutral ground. It's a meeting of the minds. They're up above this water, so they're trying to remove the emotion from the situation, which can just muddy the waters. It's not necessarily a productive way of talking about things. So if there were some hurt feelings, I do see you coming. So yeah, it's almost like there was inadvertently, is that the right word? Hurt feelings. And I'm not even sure that you necessarily had anything to do with it. So there may be some sort of meeting. You may get together with someone and talk things through. Maybe enough time has passed, or this other person or party, enough time has passed that the emotions have settled, that there's a discussion that can be had to help to start mending things. There was a break that needed to happen. Look at the giant butterfly on that 4 of Swords. So when you see butterflies, those are transformation, right? The caterpillar becomes the butterfly. Same being, but it never goes back. So there's a transformation happening in you. I think a lot of people did find this, strange time of the pandemic a time to really transform and examine things. What's important? Do I really love this person I'm with? What do I really want to do? Because when you can't do something, you realize all the things you want to do. But the real kicker is when you do have the opportunity to do it, are you going to do it, or are you going to slide back into your old habits? And really challenging ourselves to put our money where our mouth is and use these realizations that happened during the pandemic and really put them into practice. And if anyone can do that, it's you guys. You guys know how to make things work. Yeah, it's interesting. These cards sort of evolved. I should have turned them all open, but maybe I'm almost feeling like there was a distance. There was a distance here, and there's going to be a coming back together and some sort of conversation, a heart to heart, to try to mend something that may have happened recently. Could even go back to an event. This could be something that happened, back at the end of last year too, if we're talking about the eclipses. So that might be really nice for you. I think you'll feel better about that. Maybe you've been giving someone space. Could be something to do with work. Here. All right. So that is your message, Capricorn. I hope you have a wonderful May. Take care.